In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello Tasmanians, CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this, you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
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 Tasmania! Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. That's right. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello Tasmanians, CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this, you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. That's right. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later.
A very warm afternoon to all of our viewers out there in Duff TV land. This is Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood in the main commentary tower, and we're looking forward to a very big game here in the CRIPPS the Master Baker STJFL under-18 competition. As we can see, the mighty Navy Blues come out. They're, of course, going for 4 grand final victories yesterday in the seniors, the reserves, and in the women. So this is for the big four as far as they're concerned. I'm very proud to say I'm joined by Fabian Ackroyd in the co-commentary position. Fabian, it's a wonderful position that Launceston Football Club find themselves in.
Yeah, g'day Hoppy. Hello everybody. Absolutely, they're a really strong club, and obviously having 4 teams in it demonstrates that today. Well, so far this season they've only had the 1 loss, and that of course was to the combatant they're up against. They had 11 games for 10 wins and 1 loss, and Clarence 12 games, 10 and 2 losses. Very, very close. Let's have a look here, Fabian. It was in round 6 that Launceston 44 defeated Clarence 37. And then in round 12, Clarence turned the tables with a very, very good victory, 8-12-60 to Launceston 6-5-41. So evenly matched, these 2 teams, I think, have been the last few grand finals. Last year, Launceston were warm favourites, but of course Clarence came out 9-4, 58 to 3-7-25. You've cast your eye over some of these players. Who is it that you like and why today? Well, Hoppy, I've been lucky enough to see a lot of the Clarence guys fairly close up, coached against them for a number of years. As the Clarence boys are just coming out onto the ground now. Yes, here come the boys from the Eastern Shore. Of course, Clarence are in quite a few finals this year as well, as we hear their song come out, and they look very primed, and I'm sure Coach Josh Green would have given his charges last-minute instructions with that AFL experience. But of course, the coach of the year is Peter Serkowitz from Launceston, and congratulations him. But back to you, Fabian, in relation to some of those players. Yeah, look, Clarence have quite an even spread of quality across their list. Young Max Lamb's a very, very handy goal sneak. Bryce Allomes, I know his parents quite well, and he's a very handy player also, along with Miles Sawford. Fortunately, Miles was my captain a number of years ago. Yes. Quite a good little player, Miles. Runs very, very well up and down the wings. Across to Lonnie, I mean, Sam Sheriff's a quality player. He sort of can play anywhere around the ground, so he's one to watch, certainly. Tony Agonis, of course, Aganis, I apologise. He very good in the ruck too, isn't he? Yeah, he is. He moves around the ground really well as well. Sits behind the player, kick behind the play. So that's one that Clarence is going to have to watch. Sam Artis plays very well also. I tell you what, Fabian, I was here yesterday for what was a wonderful day of football, the SFL finals, and it didn't just dribble and rain, mate. It absolutely hammered down. So it's great to see the condition of the ground. I had a bit of a walk over just between the 50 arc directly towards the 10-metre square at that true centre-half forward position. That's the only problem, as we can see the cameras coming in there now. At both ends, that's the only part of the ground that's still very, very wet, but it is slippery, but the ground has recovered so well from yesterday. The council have done a really good job in the preparation of this footy ground. Obviously, I still believe that the best ground to play footy in Tassie. Without a doubt. It has the best atmosphere, and we'll witness that again today. But you're right, Hop. I mean, the forward 50s up through the middle of the ground are still quite soft underfoot, but the middle and the wings for the transition up and down the ground looks fantastic. So they should be able to move the ball up and down the ground pretty well, the boys. And there is the Navy Blues who have made the trip down tonight. I wonder if we've got some more supporters made that trip down, or whether they might have had just a bit of a sleep in after last night's festivities. Gee whiz, it would have been rocking and rolling, wouldn't it, up there in Launceston? I'd suggest the boys would have a few sore heads, but they'll be kicking along again today, no doubt, and rightly so. So they're probably watching up there at Lonnie, and hello to all the guys. Yeah, and congratulations to Mitch Thorpe and his men there, and the ladies and reserves, of course. It certainly proves that they're doing something right in relation to being in all the finals, Fabian, to think that not only the senior team, but they've got a lot of people knocking on the door, and the next generation coming through, as well as Clarence now come over. And what it's nice to see
is someone of the ilk of Josh Green stepping up to the plate as a senior player, coaching in the under-18 division as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Known Greenie since he lived down the end of my street, as a matter of fact, as a young kid. So it's fantastic that he's getting involved in the coaching range now, which is awesome.
So we'll go down for the national anthem.
Under-18 2020 Grand Final between Launceston and Clarence.
Tell you what was interesting there, Fabian, as the camera went up and down the line, I think the smallest player that we saw there was probably Josh Green.
Yeah,
the coach.
Some sizable lads out there.
Very
interesting too, Hoppy, when they did cast the camera across the two teams. Lonnie seemed very focused.
Yes. Yeah, I had a chat to Coach Peter Sirkowicz before the game. He was very focused, very intent. He said, yes, we have had a stellar year, but it counts for nothing unless you come away with this victory. And I guess that's where we get to, don't we? We play all year to give yourself an opportunity to get to this game. But once you are here, you absolutely want to give it your all. And I know you and I spoke about it before. You can actually walk away thinking if you're beaten and you play well, you can live with that. But you really want to put your best foot forward, and that's what we're hoping for today, that everyone who's representing their football club has a cracker of a game.
Absolutely. And when you run your eye across Clarence as well, there was a few smiles on their faces. Both sides were here last year, which is fantastic. But the main thing in a granny, it's important to be out there enjoying yourself and with a smile on your face. I think you play your better footy that way.
Absolutely. Don't take it. It is interesting, and I come back to you. You're about to coach next Thursday in the under-15 girls division. How is it you approach it? Do you tell your players, oh, it's just another game? Or do you actually give them a little bit of an insight on what it means to play in a grand final?
Yeah, a bit of both, I think, Hoppy. You know, being fortunate enough to play in a few grand finals, winning and losing, and you certainly you can draw from your experience. But it isn't just another game. This is what we all aim for, and as footy players, you know, guys and girls, and there's a cup at the end of it. But that said, you still have to probably not exert too much energy on the lead up to the game, because I think that that can be costly also.
Absolutely, I agree. I was also fortunate enough to go around in a few, but it is a special occasion. Embrace it. Don't be scared of it, and then take it on. The last thing you want to do is after a grand final is when you reflect and say, I wish. So don't leave anything out.
Yeah, very true.
But on the ground, give it your all, as these two teams will certainly do that. Some of these guys will be certainly playing in senior company next year, and it's an opportunity for the last time that they might play together. Some go on in the State League, Fabian, some SFL, old scholars, whatever it is. Let's just hope they enjoy their football going forward.
Yeah, an under-18s grand final. It's certainly something you're going to remember for the rest of your life. There's no doubt about that.
So the siren sounds here at the home of football. It's North Hobart Oval as they go up in the ruck, as Owen got a nice tap out there and a clearance. Clarence trying to apply some pressure. There was Howard at the bottom of the pack. Coming in very hard was Venable. I know young Jimmy Venable is pretty tough. I was having a chat to team manager Mickey Hope, and he says he likes it hard, Fabian, as young Jimmy Venable.
Oh, no doubt about that.
So nice tackle wrapped up there. Trying to get away was Liam Jones, but Clarence, to their good credit, applying the pressure early. Nice tap out, but roved and sharked by Clarence as they attempt to go inside 50. There was Ned Ward, gets it quickly over to Noble, running very hard. He can't quite bring that one in, and it has gone out of bounds. So now a boundary throw in, right underneath the scoreboard. Very good conditions here, nice and calm. Just both you and I, Fabian, have the T-shirts on, but I suspect we will be putting a little bit more clobber on as the day goes by. Nice kick out there by Launceston. Just even start, minute gone.
Quite interesting over this side, Hoppy. The two wingmen, Archie Hurd and Lily Thomas, giving themselves quite a bit of space. So,
well, that's an interesting one because Hurd is deadly on that left foot. As we can see, I think they're number 27, Hurd. So he's one of the more designated kickers, as there he is trying to provide the smother and can't get to it. So the ball goes forward. All nearly confusion there as McCullum went for it, a little bit unsure. Fortunately, Wright is at the bottom of the pack. They go inside the 50, and that's a strong mark. As going back, that is Ned Ward. He's got his hands on the ball a couple of times. Just seeing what is in front. I would have thought he'd be too far out, although he's pointing. That does take a big kick, Fabian.
Quite a few, just off screen here, there's quite a few Clarence players by themselves. He hasn't sort of lowered his eyes at all. He's going to try and drive the ball nice and long.
Okay, well, let's have a look if he has the distance in him. I think it's going to drop short to the line. Big pack forms. Under a bit of pressure here, Launceston. Let's see what they have. They're driving it towards the line. Up and under now. Strong tackle being applied. That was Lamb. He's a guy who will turn on his left. This will favour him here, and it will be a ball up. I think on that particular occasion, that kick, Fabian, if you can't kick a goal, you almost pull back slightly and get it to the top of the square.
Absolutely, or just bring the ball, just bring the ball a little bit laterally, I think.
I agree. They had the numbers, and Clarence trying to push that one forward as Ned Ward, he's got plenty of the ball. He's a good, strong-looking fella, talented key forward midfielder. They liken him to Nat Fyfe. Well, it'll be interesting to see. That's a high accolade for this young man already with 3 possessions. So that looks good. Could have gone the mark as Bealey went up. But we can't blame him. He had 3 guys around him. So that's where the torque comes into it. Here is Hurd trying to push that one forward almost off the boot. A pressure being applied there by Williams, and it's out of bounds. He's very fleet of foot, is Archie Hurd.
He's positioning himself well on the wing. He's giving himself plenty of space, which if Clarence utilise him, he'll be very dangerous.
Yeah, no, he's one of the guys you want the ball in his hands because he is a good kick. As Owen gets that tap out. So far it is Clarence have had the ball inside their 50, but as yet only got the 1 minor score as it comes out and nicely marked. I think that was Alomes. Alomes drives it to true centre, half forward and to deeper, in fact. Plenty of players in there. Not a real good forward entry, and Launceston did really nicely to get the numbers back there as Lamb snaps that one over, bouncing freely, but they've got everyone right behind the ball as Williams takes his time, and now they're going to push their way out. It is Blackaby. Blackaby gets it further over, looking towards Upson. But Clarence are really pushing hard, as you can see, close towards the line, almost in the back. That was young Fisher. But the forward line seems very crowded, Fabian.
Yeah, really impressed with Launceston. They're setting up beautifully behind the ball. They've got a number of players, they've got the gatekeeper, obviously, and a few loose players. Clarence just seemed to be bombing the ball in early.
Yeah, like you alluded to, maybe just to try and lower their eyes, and instead of kicking it just outside the 50, land top of the square, maybe, bounce it a bit further up, as that's a nice attempt to mark by Lunston. He can't do so. Here comes that long attempt, and drifting back with very, very good hands was Tyrone Bailey.
Very good player, Tyrone. He can run off a half-back flank. He's a very good user of the footy. I'd back him in here.
Yeah, he's a state under-16 rep.
Yes.
So I think he actually also comes from up New Norfolk way, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He played a lot of junior footy up that way. Then it went across to Brighton, and now obviously found his way to Clarence.
So now the very first set shot on goal. And Clarence taking their time and just pushing that one to right. For them to go well today, Fabian, they really need to take their opportunities, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Lonnie haven't sort of been forward 50 yet, so they're just holding up quite firm at the moment, but that'll change.
Yeah, that's taking a little bit longer to settle. It's taking a nice mark. Here's Jimmy Venable again. He puts it just to that top of the square. Players coming out and the pack forms. Launceston seemingly at the moment are able to handle those forward thrusts. But if they keep coming with the amount of time that they are doing, and that's a great run there by Matthew Noble. You love to see your forwards working really hard as Clarence going deep in towards the square again. They're a big chance if they can just quickly get it onto the boot and forcing it over on the last line of defence is Jack Lewis. So we're certainly finding a little bit about the back six, Fabian, at the moment for Launceston.
Yeah, we are. Look, Clarence are making it quite easy to defend against them at the moment. They're just sort of bombing the ball in, and Lonnie is setting up quite well. So they have all the momentum. I guess what they probably need to do, as we alluded to before, was lower the eyes, bring the ball in a little bit, or bring it out laterally, and just control the tempo. Possibly wait for some forwards to hit up.
Okay, so it is now Archie Hurd. We spoke about his kicking. He is a left footer. So he'll need to get this one bending the other way. He's driven it right into the square yet again. It's another messy entry as Clarence just going forward and forward repeatedly, but just haven't been able to get a forward to take that mark, except on that one particular occasion, which is about 30 metres out. But that was tremendous play there by Nicky Bealey, just taking his time further out towards Boardsboom now. Boardsboom. Long, raking left foot. It's a very predictable kick coming in, Fabian.
Yeah, once again, Clarence aren't helping themselves here. They just need to be a little bit more switched on with their entries.
I know that's the kicker, the length of the kick, maybe even just a short kick, just to change it up slightly. But they're doing a great job at the moment, the Roos. They've got all the momentum, and
yeah, they are.
A big warm hello to our friends in the north of the state who'll be tuning in, urging their boys on in the navy blue.
They're playing well, Clarence. They just need to probably reward themselves with their entries a little bit more and across the top half of the 50, I think.
Well, as we also look now, Fabian, everyone is inside that Clarence 50, so it certainly is an open forward line if Launceston can take possession. Aganis was in the ruck, and running really hard was Blackaby. Ably assisted by Upson again. He's got a couple of grabs in and under. And Clarence, if we look inside there, 50, Fabian, it's pretty crowded, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very crowded.
So it's really tough to score goals easily when it is so many bodies in your 50. Nice tap over there by Ned Ward, who's been quite influential in the game so far. Launceston now just pushing their way out. So far it has been played very much in Clarence's half, and this is dangerous. They can break quickly as Simmons picks it up. He looks forward. There was no one there, and maybe could have just gone to that open space. That's a courageous ball. Now they are certainly open as they're running hard. There is Reid. Reid is their first inside 50, and there is that open forward line, Fabian, that we spoke about.
Yeah, they did exactly what we were talking about. They used the wings beautifully. They left their forward 50 open and just spot hit that kick. That was well controlled and a very nice shoot. Gee
whiz, Bailey Simmons did some hard running there as well, didn't he? We called him in the back half, and he saw the opportunity and got up there very quickly. So now Bailey Simmons, we can see what lay in front of him, and he has just tried to steer that one instead of kick all the way through. And
it's quite a tricky
tap
pocket, that one, Hobby, to kick
yep.
goals from. It's not as easy as it looks there.
But that was very encouraging for the Blues, wasn't it? The way they moved that ball. It was a very courageous kick to go back in the centre, but it was pinpoint accuracy, so well played by them as they just slammed that one on the boot. That was Adrian Williams, and it's gone high, wide and handsome and down the embankment. So far, it's been 10 minutes gone in the CRIPPS the Master Baker STJFL Grand Final, and we're looking at the possessions on our laptop here, Fabian, and it shows that it's all but 85% to Clarence. But Launceston have looked so dangerous on the break, and that's what they've got to be careful of, that counter-attack. Very fast team, and they used the ball very, very well as Aganis was at the bottom of the pack trying to push it out for Launceston as Jesse Price comes over the top. No love lost between these two clubs, and that's the reason that they both surging forward to try and get their hands on this cup. One win apiece.
I think you'll find the game will open up a little bit, Hoppy, as it draws closer to quarter time. Been impressed with Tommy McCullum. He's doing some good things on and off the ball.
Yeah, very much so.
Great size.
Bryce Alomes as well tried to do that there, and creative work coming down there was Cooper Anthus, as just gets it over the top. Let's see what Clarence can do there. They mount Soldiers. Waller is deep into attack. That's a lovely leap, and Bryce Alomes has taken a nice mark. Alomes looking at further afield, just goes down the line, and Launceston have got numbers there, so they're able to just punch that one down as Upson's got plenty of work to do. Clarence forward line looks a little bit more open as that ball came in looking for Lamb, but it has gone out of bounds. So
yeah, young Maxi Lamb won't need a lot of opportunity. If he can get a one out, he'll test the line of defenders, and he's a very, very good set shot at goal. Yeah,
he's the leading goal kicker and a good left footer. Can move into the midfield as well, but he's very dangerous around the goals, as you just said. Cameron Owen was doing a nice work in the ruck, and that clearance hasn't gone that far. So Clarence now have an opportunity, although I think it's a bit, that's good kick as it comes in.
That's the kick we were talking about. This is what they need to do a little bit more and reward their dominance early, I think. Yeah,
that's you pointed that out before about lowering the eyes, and that's exactly what they did. Got into a very, very dangerous position, and that short pass was honoured. You can see here, just going forward, that was Hapka. He just almost snuck in, didn't he? And no one went near him. He put the hands out.
Yeah, it was smart, very smart.
Okay, so Hapka lining this one up, gets good purchase on the ball, but somewhat wasteful, as that one has gone very, very wide and out of bounds. So Clarence 3 behind, Launceston 1 behind. Both teams just feeling their way at the moment. The best opportunity probably did go to Launceston when they really broke the shackles and
they've done that well.
Laterally, didn't they? That's a very nice kick, and they kicked over the line there, Launceston. Getting back off the mark quickly. Big lead, a strong mark. There's 3 against 1. Now there's 2. Strong mark by Simmons. He did the handball off. Nice work down there by Waller. Now they've got numbers and they're backing up each other here. Clarence streaming out beautifully. That was Alomes again. He's got plenty of the ball. Going down, and Launceston smother that one. Well played by them. It's Upson who's doing a magnificent job. Ball, says the crowd, but the umpires having none of it. We actually haven't really noticed the umpires at all, which is a fantastic thing. Running hard over there is Williams. He's beaten to it this time by Hapka. Fumbles, but he goes back in to get it again. Driving long and just about to take the mark was Maxi Lamb. He almost went to see here on the replay, Fabian, take it on the chest.
I think he thought he had a little bit more time. Didn't realise the Lonnie defender was closing.
Wasn't that wonderful defensive work?
Fantastic. Gee, their Launceston defenders use the ball well. Their transition out of their back half's been really, really solid on a couple of occasions now.
It has been. Agarnis in the ruck. Deft touch. And it certainly had to be. There's bottom of the pack stuff. And the umpire's just going to come in and ball that one up. So 20-minute quarters here in the under-18 division. So nearly 14 minutes gone. No time on. Breaking out quickly was Gibson under plenty of pressure. Trying to get that one further afield was Tommy McCullum. Can't do so. And there's the umpire's grandstand there, Fabian. They'll be barracking. It's great to see them. Gee, we thank them very much for all their work they've done in this season, because we have a bit of a joke. But gee, they've done a good job, haven't they?
They have done a good job. They have done a good job throughout this year.
So boundary throw in here. The ruckman up against. So it is Hapka and Agarnis. I recall last year Agarnis was solo in the ruck. He's got a couple against him. Here it is with very quick pace, driving it long, wanting a big mark at the back there, roving it cleverly, goes one way, gets around the other. That was always going to be a tough shot with Hyatt. He read that ball well though, Fabian Hyatt, didn't he?
He did. Bailey Simmons has been quite important early too. He's had a couple of touches, so Clarence will have to watch him.
I really like that play. He just knew he couldn't influence the game. So he moved away at the back and roved it very, very nicely.
Gee, Bryce Alomes has been important too, hasn't he? He's
I actually liked his game.
Yeah, you've called him a few times, Hop, and he's getting involved even in that contest there, and he's moving around the ground well.
So another throw in on what's a bit overcast here. So it's still very pleasant. It was about 16.5 degrees. Rain looks like it will hold off, so perfect for football. So no excuses as far as that's concerned, and you can see the drainage has been great. So breaking through now. That was magnificent play. Barging through, and Launceston looking very dangerous. They haven't been in there very often, as Benjamin Hyatt will go back to take the mark, but they've been so efficient, Fabian, haven't they?
They have. Yeah. Back and through the centre, their transition through that part of the ground's been good. They are utilising the wings a little bit here at North Hobart also. Well,
the reality is you don't win a game from possession. It's what you do on the scoreboard. And it is Hyatt now. You can see here, goes directly towards the goal. It looks like it's got the accuracy. And there is confirmation. So the first goal goes to Benjamin Hyatt of the Launceston Football Club. And believe it or not, after all that work that Clarence have done to have the ball inside their 50, they are trailing. So it is Launceston. We just check on the Jackson Motor Car Company scoreboard. 1-2-8, leading the Roos 3 behinds as we have a look at this kick. Beautiful kick, nice square shoulders.
Lovely kick. He kicked through the ball beautifully, very nice kick.
So he started on the 50, kicked from, I'd say about 44 metres and put that one through. And as we said, Fabian Ackroyd, you really do need to take your chances when you get them.
You certainly do, Hoppy. Clarence won't be too disappointed with this, though. They just need to make a few adjustments, and I think that they'll be right back on level pegging with these guys, the Lonnie Footy Club.
I absolutely agree. As now they've got a chance. Oh, they just spilt that one. Go to get it again. Held without the ball, and they're growing in a bit of confidence now. The Blues. Take possession. Ooh, I think that was rather fortunate and went a little bit short, but quickly grabbed up. And here they go again as this open forward line is providing a lot of danger signs here, as just coming around now, squirming on that one might be Burling towards the goals. It's down front and centre, and mopping that one up is Harry Fisher. So he was alert to the danger.
They were quite lucky then, Clarence. Lonnie had two players in their in their forward pocket deep that were all by themselves.
Yeah, it might have been Lunson, but gee whiz, they are looking dangerous when the ball gets inside that 50. It's very, very open. So Coach Peter Kirchowicz is setting them up very nicely. I'll get you to cast your eye over how they are setting up, because I want you to dissect that one at quarter time, Fabian, for me. So it is now Alomes doing very nicely, getting plenty of the ball. Drives Clarence inside their forward line. A little bit scrappy once it gets in here, and this is where Launceston are really providing all the momentum. That Waller stops this one as he goes back in towards the centre of the ground. Hapka, we've called that name quite a few times. So
just noticed Launceston's pace out of the stoppage has been a little bit better and quicker than Clarence's.
Yep.
They seem to explode out of there fairly quickly. Which has helped them transition.
Yeah, well, they've been under plenty of pressure, has the full back line, but it's the drive that the half back line have given them. As Tony Aganis came in there, and he didn't quite see on the blind side that that ball had indeed fallen from the hands of Ruben Tompkins.
He's been a little bit clumsy there.
Wasn't it?
His last couple of tackles have resulted in free kicks.
I think that's the right word for it. It was just clumsy, as Clarence now trying to create some space. Now they come back through the middle. They've got to be careful they don't spill it, and they don't. So well played there by Hurd.
This is better by Clarence.
Being told by umpire Guy to play on, so he does. So goes directly down, which is becoming a tad predictable as Jackie Lewis goes inside the 50. This is dangerous. When you get Lamb one-on-one, Fabian, that's not a bad result.
That was the one we were talking to before, but I think more importantly from Clarence's point of view, that again their transition deep into from the defensive 50, they controlled the ball, and their forward entry was much cleaner.
Even on that kick coming in, I'd like to see them pull it back a little bit and kick to Lamb's advantage.
It'd be really easy to defend. When you kick it so deep on a goal line, it's just easy to defend for a defender, which resulted there.
Absolutely, Coach Green. And there it is. It comes in a little bit shorter, and at the front is Sawford.
So young Miles,
yes.
This is probably just on his distance too, I'd suggest.
Okay, so as is the trend, you put your mouth guard in the sock and go back in, just checking exactly where the mark is. So Sawford, very deliberate on goal, taking his time now, getting some encouragement from the Launceston boys. They'd love this with momentum going in, and he's just pushed that one to the right. And again, only the minor score. So somewhat wasteful Clarence. 0 goals, 4 behinds, 4 points to a fast running through the defensive area Launceston, who are 1 goals, 4-10. The goal kicker is Benjamin Hyatt, and it's a very different style of play, Fabian.
Yeah, I agree with you, Hoppy. It's two completely different styles. You've got Clarence moving the ball on, going straight up the middle of the ground and sort of kicking to contest, and conversely, you've got Launceston that are prepared to spread and utilise the wings and hit up a tick hit for 15, 20 metres away and control the footy. So I think we witnessed Clarence in probably the last couple of minutes of that quarter control the ball a little bit more, utilise the wings, hit the 15-metre kick rather than going long, and subsequently obviously had a nice entry.
It'll be interesting to see how Coach Green handles this, because in one way you'd be frustrated and maybe mildly angry, if you like, that you've had so much and you haven't got any reward from it. For me, I think I'd be going out there and being very excited about it and saying, you know what, we've had so much of the ball, all we need to do is just change this, and away we go.
Absolutely. I think with Clarence, they don't have to change a lot. It's just the way that they probably use the ball. They'll be a little bit smarter, control it a bit more. They've certainly had probably more. They've had more than the play than Lonnie. Lonnie has just been able to use their, I guess, their run and spread and their exit out of the contest a lot better than Clarence.
Yep, I agree. Well, now is our opportunity to have our first break for the day. So it is quarter time. Launceston 1-4-10. Clarence 4 behinds. We'll be back with the second quarter very shortly.
Hello, Tasmanians. CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this: you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello, Tasmanians. CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this: you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
So welcome back to North Hobart Oval. It is the STJFL CRIPPS the Master Baker Grand Final here at North Hobart Oval. A very warm welcome to all our viewers from Duff TV, the premier broadcaster of football in Tasmania, and of course major partner for the STJFL. Well, it was interesting, Fabian, down at the Clarence huddle that it was very positive, as we predicted. Josh was just talking about his boys, about how we lock it in. He did also speak about that long entry, maybe to lower the eyes a little bit more.
Makes sense. Peter was the same. He was very confident and happy with how his troops were going around for the first quarter.
I reckon you'd be thrilled, wouldn't you, given the amount of ball that they had? Fantastic, you know, given that the opposition haven't hurt you, because you know that there's going to be momentum swings, and if you say that they've had a big patch of the ball, our opportunity will come. So the ruckman face off. It's big Burling who goes up in the sandpit in the middle. A little bit soft underfoot. That was one part of the ground that was a little bit wet from yesterday, but as I said, it's recovered so well. So congratulations to the Hobart City Council for providing us this wonderful oval as Gibson comes out. So unlike in the first quarter, it is going towards the Launceston end. Here come Clarence, just trying to go with surges. Cheekily gained the mark. I think that was touched straight off the boot. That was Bailey Simmons. I think he was trying to con the old umpire there, Fabian. It was touched straight off the boot. Anyway, worth a try. As you can see, we are right underneath the Peter Sharp Tower here at North Hobart Oval. Good crowd, up to the 1,000 people allowed in, and they've come out to watch the stars of the future in the under-18 division. Very close to the line, hasn't gone out, and that was a lovely punch as it came down to Tompkins. Now they're sweeping around. It's Al Holmes again being very dominant over the back, trying to take the mark. I think the umpire's got to play that to the front man, and it is, and it's going to be Upson. That Upson's playing nicely, Fabian, across half-back. When a half-back gets so much of the ball, when is it as a coach you start to think, I have to lock down on that half-back flanker?
Well, I think it's important to understand how he uses the ball as well. So if he's actually just blazing away, which Lonnie clearly aren't doing, you know, you can probably afford him the ability to be able to do that. But yeah,
he's being influential, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. That said, it's 4 scoring shots to 5, so it's still fairly even game of footy.
So boundary throw in. They go up. Hapke is down at the front. Did a very nice job there. Very deft skills in the rucking division. Now coming further afield. Well picked up. Lovely skills below his knee was Williams, who gets it off to it. I think there's a late hit as some of the boys just come in and remonstrating there, as charging in hard was Burling. And if any man can come out there, I don't like to see the runner in there. He needs to just clear his heels.
Send off here, Hop.
Might be a little bit of a swinging arm. There is a send-off, is there? Just taking names.
It's a report, actually.
Yep.
I think it's, is it Matty Noble? Not 100% sure. I can't, yeah, it is, I think. Matthew Noble, just been reported.
Okay. Umpire Guy has just informed him that he is on report. The umpire's just taking his time as they riding that one up. As you can see, the yellow card being shown, and there is on replay. Maybe got him across the chest there, Fabian.
I don't think. I personally don't think it's a reportable. I think it was a fairly
late tackle.
Contest. Yeah, free kick.
Late tackle, so maybe downfield.
Free kick.
But the game, it's going to stay where it is. So obviously these guys have got a handle on it. Umpire's just coming down to the Launceston bench. Not really sure why you're going into the bench as a umpire, but very experienced umpire is umpire Guy. So we're just about ready to resume. And here's.
Is it going to be? I think it's 50 metres.
I would have thought the 50 was paid.
I think they're a little confused here. One's saying it is and the other isn't. So
yeah, it's 50 metres.
Yeah, it is 50.
So umpire Guy, there has been a text come in, Fabian, from one of our viewers. They've asked if there's time on. So at the moment there isn't time on. The umpire does have the capacity, if traditionally there's an injury, there's an ambulance call, or if he thinks there's time wasting, they can do that, but it will run for the 20 minutes unless one of the umpires signals to the timekeeper the time off. So that said, it is the Sheriff goes in. Yeah, that's the one they need to watch. Sam Sheriff's a very good user of the footy, good player, very smart. So that was kickable for him. Very much so. Well, that really snuck up on me. That had to be almost 250 metres. Gee whiz, that was generous real estate.
It was a fairly solid 50.
So Clarence now, what answers have they got? Coming, I think that might be Sawford, who goes further in, running very, very hard toward it. Is Ward. He's been so very influential early on, under plenty of pressure, but soaking it up is Jones down back, and Launceston back up through the middle. There seems to be plenty of spare players to each one. That's kind of a bit high. That was a bad loss for Clarence. There was 3 against 1. And the one comes up with the free kick.
So here goes Launceston's ability just to try and switch it across rather than hammer the ball forward.
Yeah, they're being brave use of the ball, isn't it, Fabian?
Yeah, they are. Yep.
I like the way they are trying to do. That's a strong mark. Beautiful mark there by the Roos in defence.
I think that's McCullum. He's had a good start to the game.
He has indeed. He looks very assured. As now going back are the Roos via Hapka. Hapke goes the long drop punt down the line, looking for a big, strong mark. So the way they're playing at the moment, they need big, strong marks to be taken down the line, whereas Launceston are really trying to switch at every single opportunity.
Yeah, the Roos defence has been put under pressure a little bit at the start of this quarter, and young Aidan Waller, wearing the helmet, I think, the headgear, he's been very good. He was good in the first quarter too. He
certainly has, and in the ruck is Hapka. And for the first time, it's interesting that Agarnis was doing most of the ruck, so he's had a bit of a spell, and he needed it. This is good play as they come out towards the open side, and here is Sheriff. He's normally very creative, as we can see him go, the short pass, and it was a lovely kick. And as we spoke about, Fabian, they're getting good angles, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yep.
This time, they can't get away. That was Hurd who cut that one off, but now they go forward. They're looking pretty dangerous. At the back was Lunson. Lunson still leads out again. Good Shepherd kicking it inside. That's a tough angle, but it looks a very nice kick. As we can see, Launceston with minimum of fuss
Poppy, I think
have slotted that one through, Fabian.
Yeah, I think that goal was generated from Sheriff. Sheriff's ability on the half-back flank to bring the ball back into the middle, transition it to the other wing. It really caught Clarence literally on the hop then, and Lonnie were able to score, and score quickly.
Well, good forward pressure. And we can see when that ball came out, it was Cody Jones who put it on his boot, and that's a tough shot from there, Fabian, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very difficult pocket to kick goals from in that. It's a very defensive side of North Hobart Oval. You notice Lonnie play. It's obviously Mitch Thorpe and the club as a whole. They play a very similar brand of footy, which is a message, I guess, after watching the games yesterday that he's banging on, and it's certainly paying dividends at the moment.
Well, there really should be a system in the club, but here goes Jones, the goal kicker again. So Clarence are being tested, but a lovely mark there by Eddie Wright, deep in defence. Launceston, though, they're going to come back in with interest. That's a dangerous kick, putting it into the space of the leading forwards. See what they're made of. There is Howard, under plenty of pressure, bursting their way through. Hyatt, who's already got one goal. They get it out to the open side. Under plenty of pressure. I'm not sure if that was maybe taken high, but the umpire says we'll throw it straight up. Just for a minute there. So he does come in and throw the ball up. Burling gets the tap out. Nicely worked. Showing plenty of aggression over the ball there was Venable. We were warned about his aggression, and he shows it directly at the football.
He likes getting involved in the physical stuff, but he can also win his own footy.
Very much so. And there's also just down there, as one we were looking at, was Jonty Doran. Has been a little bit quiet so far, but would expect him to get plenty of the ball throughout the gates. Lovely work by Magarnis, who gets it down, but doing a little bit too much with it was Artis. And strong tackling by the Clarence defenders. They stood up very tall then, Fabian, didn't they?
Clarence have been good in their defensive.
Yes, they have.
In their defensive 50, or back half at least.
So Agarnis takes that one, takes a little bit off it to space. Chipped off here as they're going back through the middle of the ground. It was Borsboom who got that last kick. Here they go again with great creative pace. Gee, that was wonderfully done by Jack Lewis. And then all of a sudden, just as he burst through the pack, he put that one to the side. He let me down there. Gee, that was good creative play, except for the last passage of play there, Fabian.
Jack Lewis, another ex-Brighton player, I believe.
Yep.
yeah, very good player with a lot of pace.
Yes, he is. He certainly is one to watch. Sporsboom is there. He's pushed off the ball. Garnis gets onto it. Big, strong cove. Comes out towards the wing. And they've got spare numbers out here. Gives a quick don't argue was Anthus. Comes back inside. Strong mark. Gee, I like the way they're front and centre. That was very nice play by Artis. He's at the bottom of the pack. Player comes over the top. Strong work by Burling, by the big man.
Oh, yeah, I like Craig then. Craig Blaschke, he did well. He spoiled the entry and then followed his own footy up and created a stoppage. So that was well done by Craig.
They do look dangerous though, Fabian, Launceston inside their 50, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Good tap there by Owen. Back inside, and they decide to run the ball directly up the centre of the ground, halfway through this quarter as Lewis goes in. Look at the open space here at North Hobart Oval. The race is on. Going back, and a bit of a fumble there by Gibson. Gee, it'd be tough to pay that one against him, given it's just a tad slippery.
I think that was young Tyron Bailey with his entry. He'd like that chance again.
Yeah, very much so. That's certainly of lowering the eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So the boundary throw in, Clarence with an opportunity. But numbers getting back quickly here by Launceston. Picked up by Venable. Venable goes further afield, and now it's coming back, looking for a high mark. At the bottom of the pack is Borsboom. Quickly affects that one out, but the numbers are there with Launceston. Trying to get it out to a spare Hapka. Going close to the line. Did a good job for a big man there to try and get it back. But as we can see on screen, there's plenty of navy blue. The cavalry have come back very, very quickly.
Hapka's been involved in a few contests this quarter also.
Very much so. As Lewis was dangerous. We need to get a clean ball here, try and get it to some space. But Launceston are doing very well deep in defence. And this man here, I've liked his game, Artes. Be it down forward or down back on ball. Strong in the core.
Quite difficult. I think Tommy McCullen's doing a really good job across centre half back.
Agreed.
But they're winning enough ball, I think, Clarence. It'd probably be handy to try and throw him forward to take a catch.
Yep.
He seems very likely.
Very much so, as there is Alomes. He's beaten this time by a resurging Sheriff, who's done a very, very nice job. Now the race is on. Here is Wright, who took that nice mark just a few minutes ago. He did a great job. This is a very brave kick.
That's better.
It's a good kick, though, isn't it? So now Jonty Doran decides to come across. Didn't quite get great purchase on the ball. Steele is there. Another kick that hasn't gone exactly where it's wanted to. Picking up the ball was Reid. Tried to do a little bit too much, and he was beset upon it, and it was Hurd to take the free kick. Hurd now. Beautiful, long, raking left foot kick. Goes down to the half forward flank. Launceston have plenty of numbers there as Howard tries to get it. Scrappy piece of play. And another ball up will ensue, but it is deep into the attacking area of Clarence, yet to score a goal.
Just
but they've had plenty of the ball down
that,
there.
Lonnie's skill execution just seems to be that little bit better than Clarence's at the moment, which is affording him that little bit more time. Very
much so. Here's an opportunity, though, as a quick kick comes out, and it's Ruben Tompkins who grasped it, quickly broke off his opposition, and as we can see what lay in front of him, it's probably 30 metres out, Fabian, and directly in front.
This will be against a bit of momentum, so certainly this will be handy for Clarence.
Well, he's in the team as a sharpshooter, very capable defender, but it's the goal-kicking prowess throughout the year that's been good for him. And he hasn't let me down as I pumped his tyres up. Very assured shot. That will certainly settle the nerves of the Roos as they get their first goal in the 2020 Grand Final for the agency of Ruben Tompkins. Lovely kick here, Fabian, wasn't it?
Yeah, nice set shot of goal.
Just going back directly at the target and kicked through the ball and sailed straight over the top of the head of the goal umpire. So
never in doubt. Look, took the grab, went back, very confident in his own ability and threaded it, which was good.
So now that'll certainly give them a lot more confidence, the Roos, because they have had the ball plenty of times inside their 50 and haven't got any reward for it. So now they're only the 6 points behind. Lovely tap out there as it came toward Jones. He goes inside, a big, strong punch from the defender in Fisher. Clarence now come out, pick it up, create a bit of space. They come back through the centre of the ground. This is much better play from them. Howard comes wide, but chipping in. The idea was right, just was the execution.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That's probably the first time this quarter that Clarence have started to do that.
And I think as a coach, Fabian, you don't mind that at all, because they're taking the game on as they go inside the 50 with a bit of a shaky old kick. And you can see it's not wonderful for a forward as the Clarence boys trying to barge their way through.
Well, I think, Hoppy, given it's only sort of, well, there's still 4 or 5 minutes left in the second quarter, that Clarence need to start rolling the dice and trying to get their running game going.
Yes.
Rather than this kick and stop marking, it's not working for them. So they've still got half a game to really get their running game going, and it's good that they're doing it.
Very much so. Held without the ball, and the pressure now will be relieved for Launceston Football Club. I'm sure they'll have the game on the big screen up there in the club rooms. Hello to you. We've had a wonderful season up in Launceston, as we alluded to before, winning those seniors reserves and women's final. There's been a late hit, bit of feeling coming into the game. Athenis not particularly happy, and it was just a late, nothing untoward there. And so the free kick is paid downfield, and it is going to go to Jonty Doran. I would have thought a little bit too far out here. And they've got plenty of numbers here, Launceston in the hole, but that's a great lead. And the power forward came out there, put the big dukes up, and has taken a strong mark. So that's excellent work by Ned Ward there, Fabian.
For the first time again, Clarence held the footy. They waited for someone to present, and they just sat it out in front of him. It was really nice.
We just saw in the Mood Food replay, there were 3 defenders, but it was Ward who really wanted that ball. As it came down to the front and centre, he didn't quite make the distance. He had the accuracy, but his determination there, Fabian, with 3 defenders around him, his want was enough for him to take that mark, which I love to see that determination. As Launceston, they're under the pump here as they come directly towards the commentary tower. They have numbers. Good work there by the Roos as Waller puts it back inside, and that's a good, strong mark taken by Miles Sawford. Terrific work by Sawford.
Here's a lovely mark. Controlled his space out in front and really sure hands. That was a great mark by Miles.
It was a good kick coming in. You can actually see there that lowering of the eyes. He put his hands out, did Sawford, and the kick went to his advantage.
Wasn't a hell of a lot the defender could do then, actually.
Absolutely right. So Miles Sawford coming in now. Tight, tell you what, that's kicked beautifully off the boot. And Miles Sawford has sailed that one through. Terrific kick from the young fella.
I'll tell you what, he celebrated that fairly well. I'm not sure if we've seen that on camera. It's a very handy kick.
Yes, indeed. So
celebration was equal to the kick. Well done, Miles.
So I can see a lovely kick towards the goal. It was a tough angle. So now it is all square here at North Hobart Oval for the CRIPPS STJFL Grand Final for 2020 in the under-18 division. You just have to double check here. So the scoreboard's saying 2-4-16, and we've got it at 2-6-18. So we'll just have to confirm that as we cast our eye over. We've got the thumbs up that we're true and correct. So we're going to go with 17 all, Fabian, as Agarnis goes inside the 50 for Launceston deep into this second quarter. Tremendous tackle there by Harry Fisher down back. Under plenty of pressure. Comes out to Benny Steele.
Clarence
Still goes the long kick. They are lifting, aren't they?
They're lifting, yep. They're starting to get run from behind the ball now, which is good too. And this bloke he's got a mountain of touches.
He certainly has. Alomes comes in towards Sawford again, who is a very dangerous forward, and he's got the kick. So now with only a minute left, Sawford quickly brings it into the advantage of his forwards under plenty of pressure, and I think that one is touched, the umpire says, and it is a throw in. Umpire guy is right on the mark there.
Miles Sawford's proved pretty likely up there since he's come back onto the ground, hasn't he?
Yeah, he looks like a good target. He had a couple of opportunities in the first quarter, and he nailed that one just a few minutes ago. Good tap in. in the last 30 seconds. Clarence trying to get it out. They can't break. And umpire Guy will throw that one aloft. Just keeping an eye on things.
You can sort of feel the energy of Clarence has lifted probably in the last 10 minutes, which has given them the scoring opportunities for their run from behind the ball, their energy.
It's those momentum swings, isn't it? Very interesting to watch as Aganis just tries to bludgeon that ball and get an extra metre. A quick kick in. It was heard there. He's put straight to the ground unceremoniously as it comes back in the centre of the ground. They've got to be very quick. Alomes has got to get that ball moving inside the 50 now. No time to go short. Comes over the top. He needs a long kick and a mark as Doran goes in, and the siren has just beaten him as it is half-time here at North Hobart Oval, which sees Launceston 2-5-17 to Clarence 2-5-17. For the visitors here is Cody Jones and Benjamin Hyatt for the Launceston Football Club. And for Clarence, it is Reuben Tompkins and Miles Salford, who was an absolute dead-eye dick from deep on the boundary line as we see the boys. And there was one who has played very nicely in Tommy McCullum. But you said, Fabian, that they certainly did change the way they played and the momentum swung back towards the Roos in that latter part of that second quarter.
Well, it got them back into the game, Hoppy. Their ability to probably hit targets and then run to receive, the old give and go, certainly came into play a hell of a lot more in the back end of that quarter, which put Launceston under pressure a lot more as well, and hence the reason they were able to get some more scoreboard activity.
Well, they looked a lot more dangerous going forward, and they lowered their eyes, and instead of just that long kick, and it proved when Salford got in the dangerous position, they actually honoured his lead, and I think that's what they probably have to do a tad more, as well as looking to switch it a bit. They've
got some real winners on the ground as well. I mean, Bryce Alomes is a real winner at the moment, so they probably need to utilise his dominance.
Yep.
And I've liked Doran's game as well. Doran's been quite clever, and he's a very, very good user of the ball too. So if they can get the ball in those fellas' hands and make the most of their opportunities, they're going to be really dangerous in the second half.
Okay, so as the coaches talk to their charges, ladies and gentlemen, it is our time to take our second break. It is the halftime spell here at North Hobart Oval, and we here at Duff TV will bring you all the second half highlights as soon as we return very shortly.
Hello Tasmanians, CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this, you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello Tasmanians, CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this, you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello Tasmanians, CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this, you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello Tasmanians, CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this, you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here Now, drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello Tasmanians, CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this, you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello Tasmanians, CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this, you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to North Hobart Oval. It's Andrew Hopwood and Fabian Ackroyd here in the Peter Sharp Tower, and it is just a correction on the scoreboard there. We were saying it was all level, but in fact Launceston 2-4-16 are trailing Clarence 2-6-18. Very even encounter as the teams have made their way out on the ground. Well, you've had a little bit of time to consider the first half. Fabian, any thoughts on how this game moves forward?
Look, I think Hoppy, if Clarence can continue to play the way they did in the back end of that quarter, they're going to probably be pretty hard to beat. Lonnie certainly started better with their ability to transition the ball and they're set up all over the ground. But Clarence got it going late in that quarter, and yeah, they certainly will be hard to stop if they can continue that. But we'll just say it's very even at the moment, obviously, with 18 versus 16. So
it is.
Time will tell.
Yeah, it's very even. It was so many games of football we've seen in the STJFL series this year where one team gets on top for a quarter, then the momentum swings back. It is very, very hard to pick. And so far this year, it might be worth mentioning in the under 13 A1 division. It was a good victory there to Clarence. They won 8-6-54 to Lindisfarne 6-4-40. Gee, that was a really good game. In the under 15 boys, that was another cracker of a game. That was Sandy Bay against Lindisfarne, and Sandy Bay got up 59-52. So we've had some cracker grand finals so far, and you can watch them all on Duff TV. As I say, the premier partner with the STJFL, our media partner, and the ball goes up in the centre of the ground. Bursting through was Venable, trying to give first use of the ball to Clarence. They do so now. Comes out to Venable. That was nice play by him. He followed up his good work, leading hard to the ball. Like to see them charging out was Noble, who was on report, Fabian, but he's back on now, which is good for this young man. And a free kick going to Clarence on the wing position.
So this is where they had trouble in the first quarter.
Very much.
Up this end. So it'll be interesting to see how they use the ball with this entry.
Already they decide to go reasonably long. It falls a little bit short. And I think that's Edward Wright, take it, or it's Borsboom, I think, sorry. Borsboom goes on the left foot. That's a really good kick.
And that's what they didn't do in the first quarter. In the first quarter, they were prepared to actually bomb that ball at the top of the square, which is so easy to defend.
Yeah, let's watch this kick come in, Fabian, because there were 4 defenders as we watched in the Mood Food replay. And the kick was pulled short a bit, which gave the forward something to lead into. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders. Now, in that first quarter, they were kicking long.
They were, and Clarence did really well to keep that spot open, that space, you know, 20 metres out from goal.
So, one of the boys who's had a cracker in the first half was Bryce Alomes. Comes in now to see if he can start Clarence so positive, and he does so.
And Hoppy, that's that move we said, look, if Bryce can start hitting the scoreboard and push himself forward, because they were getting those entries, and as we spoke about in the second quarter, that's happened. And they look very dangerous. It looks like he's starting forward as well, which I think from Josh Green and the coaching staff at Clarence, that's a really good move.
Yep.
He's got a great set of hands, and as we've just seen, he can finish very, very well. Just off screen here, we've got it looks as though we've got young Cam Owen that's got a problem with his. He's been knocked in the mouth, and I know,
just down in front of us here.
Yeah, I know Di Sawford, Miles's mum. She's a dental assistant, and they're inspecting his mouth. It looks as though he's in a bit of trouble, unfortunately.
He does.
And him personally.
Oh, that's a shame. The young fella there being consoled, because you want to put your best foot forward on the big stage. So our best wishes go to him as Clarence again coming forward, charging out at the ball. They're playing with a lot more intent now as Waller gets to give and go inside to Hurd. Hurd again back inside to Venable. Venable, it's a longer kick. And again, numbers see that one easily spoiled by Launceston. They've got that long kick worked out. It's the short kick that's provided the trouble as Hapka goes on his left boot towards the goals, and just a minor score.
Once again, though, Hoppy, Clarence's use of handball then was a bit of a feature. They were able to exit out of trouble there fairly cleanly, which they weren't doing early on.
So now it's the Launceston defenders going around the outer side. Big attempt to try and take the mark, but well spoiled here by Clarence. Beset upon, as the young fella goes, it was Sheriff at the bottom of that pack. Chipped in here was Benny Steele. Well played by him. Very effective. Going in to get it again was Sheriff. He's had plenty of the ball. Look out, you're in trouble here, son, as a very fast Matthew Noble came in with great pace. This is very, very good by Clarence. It comes over the top. Trying to find Alomes again. Here comes out. He's good closing speed. Can't pick it up, but he holds it in. Terrific forward work by Alomes, and a strong tackle.
So, Hoppy, just behind here, I've got 1, 2, 3. There's five Launceston players setting up behind this stoppage, and there's 1 Clarence player. So if the ball does dribble forward, Launceston's ability to win possession and then spread on the attack, they'll be very dangerous.
Very much so. Of course, that is unless Clarence can get it over their heads for another much-needed goal. But yeah, Launceston, very well drilled team. Garnis gets the tap out wide, keeping their head over the ball. That showed a little bit of courage here at the 4-minute mark. All hands on deck. That's a good spoil here by Launceston, because these two teams are very, very evenly matched this year. One win against each other, and Launceston with only the one loss, Clarence with the two. So without a doubt, the two better teams have made it through to the grand final here today at North Hobart Oval.
Which is always what you want to see.
Absolutely. So now Launceston breaking away. Good spoil from the defensive area, but it's Sheriff front and centre, playing a very nice game. That's a good kick as he spread that ball quickly and finds Saunders. So Saunders be right on his limit here. That's why he looked a bit uncertain.
Hoppy, every time Lonnie win the ball, they're always looking sideways, lowering the eyes, making sure that there's not a better option to kick to.
Yeah,
they've
got good angles going forward, which is hard to defend.
They have. Yep.
So here is Saunders, goes in. It's a good-looking kick, but I don't think it's right there at McCallum, who went up really high, couldn't quite bring it in. It's dangerous area, and Clarence just decide to bring that one in. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy down there. And so you just be careful. Once it gets around that throat, the umpires will be quickly onto you, and that's a very bad kick.
I'm sure he'd like that one again.
And Spencer Hayes does a very nice job to chop that one off, as Waller, he was trying to get that one over the top, we can see here, but didn't get the purchase on it. So Launceston have an opportunity through Spencer Hayes to come in and kick this goal.
He kicked this, Hobby?
Yeah, I'd favour him from here. Oh, has he let me down? He hasn't.
No, he's kicked it.
Well played by Spencer Hayes. I can almost feel the roar coming down the highway, the Midland Highway, as our friends up there in Launceston will be thrilled to see that one go through, as Launceston get the first goal of the second half. As we watch this kick again. Didn't look particularly smooth off the boot, but the accuracy is there, and that's all that counts.
And I think, Hoppy, in such a tight game of footy, that you've got to make the most. I mean, from the opposition make a mistake, if you can counter with scoring, it's so important in such a tight game of footy, because mistakes, there are plenty of mistakes, and if you can actually take advantage of that, it could be the difference.
One of the things there, Fabian, is for the Clarence defenders to just settle. They've made the mistake, just forget it now. You can't bring it back. You get on with it. So don't dwell on the past. As Venable is in hard at the bottom of the pack, and he's still down. He's a tough player to the through centre half forward position. Clarence have numbers at the fall of the ball. Borsboom over to Noble. Noble, quick kick. One-on-one with Lamb. And Lamb has taken the mark. Oh, he's been paid against him.
I'm not sure about that, Hoppy. That was, I thought that was just strong
good strength.
Yeah, it was.
We saw there on the mood food. Let's have a look at this one again, Fabian. As the ball comes in, you've got two players jostling each other.
I didn't mind it. He didn't push him in the back. He pushed him in the chest and got rid of him. I just think that's good strength from your forward.
It was good strength, but to the umpire says he didn't like it. Hurd is there, gets it back to the favour as Borsboom. There is Artiz trying to get the ball out now. Get rid of it, son. You're under plenty of pressure. He's deemed to be handballed it out. It's a hot potato over there at the 8-minute mark of this third quarter. Clever play there by Clarence.
Oh.
Well, that would have been the most miraculous goal you'd ever see. I just didn't give him a chance there.
That was come from Tyrone Bailey, I think.
Wow.
It's a pretty good effort.
I wonder if we can see that again on the replay. Have a look at this. He picks it up here and had no chance. And when it hit the boot, it just started going from left to right and drifted back and hit the padding. So Clarence, it's just a couple of points up here in the grand final. Comes over the back to Arthez, and that's a lovely kick to Sheriff. And this young boy Sheriff, he's very creative when he gets the ball. Coming back through the centre of the ground. It's a pattern of play that Launceston have used very nicely, is going wide first and then going up through the corridor and even going to the other side of the ground to that open area. As Clarence have it just on their 50.
He's probably a little bit lucky there. He laid on the ball.
Yes.
They just needed to make a bit more obvious that he laid over it, and they probably draw a free kick.
So the umpire, as you can see here, it's right on the 50-metre mark for Clarence. Aganis, nice tap out. Goes down to Artiz. Artiz, one of the prime movers for the Launceston Football Club. Well played there by Fisher. Terrific work from cross half-back flank. Love the way he's just following up on his good work. Hurd can't take possession. Now it comes back for Clarence. They go back. Oh, that was putting the player under a great deal of pressure. And he was wrapped up in the tackle from a charging Cody Jones. And the umpire has no trouble but to throw that one aloft. Good competition there in the ruck. Hurd is beaten to the ball that particular time, but he's assisted by Venable. Hurd goes back to get it again, comes out wide. That's a lovely looking kick. Comes to the advantage of his Clarence player there. And that was Blasky back inside. Can't get the ball. Just runs over it a bit, that one was Doran. Here come the Blues. They try and get that one onto their boot very quickly. Tremendous pickup. That was well played by Hyatt. Comes into a dangerous area looking for Sheriff. He can't quite pick that one up, and a strong tackle and good defending there by the Roos.
They look very dangerous when they go forward, Lonnie. They have plenty of space to work within their forward 50. So every time they have an entry, they do look very dangerous.
Yes, it certainly was open, Fabian, as picking that one up is Fisher. He is under all sorts of pressure, almost appealing to umpire Guy to give him a hand there out the back. Oh, held without it.
Yep.
He is certainly held without it. And a free kick here to Launceston as the arms went up. I think that might be Benjamin Hyatt, who we know is a goal kicker.
I also think Hoppy Cooper Anthys, I think it is doing a power work. He's had a really good third quarter.
Yep.
He's been instrumental in Lonnie getting their hands on the ball a lot too.
So Hyatt lining that ball up. He's directly in front. You can see the 10-metre square. He's going to kick from 20. He goes back and, oh, gee whiz. Just a wasted opportunity, that one there, Fabian.
It's disappointing. He'd like that kick again.
So Clarence, a bit of a let-off there as the fullback, Aidan Waller, comes out. That's a nice short kick from him this time. He's got that bad kick out of his mind and butters up very nicely now as he comes down the line. The big pack forms as Alomes is there. Gets a little bit of a push, but a boundary throw in. Still good conditions. Plenty of cloud coverage, but perfect for footy. As here is the throw in. Gaines up against Howard. Gaines gets the kick. Nice hands. Good work there. But set upon was Lewis. Gee whiz, we can see the...
Miles Salford again.
Yeah, closing pressure. And Salford, he's been a very dangerous player for Clarence.
He just gives you an effort. Every time he goes near the footy, he'll give you that effort. That's all you can ask for.
So he must be running through the midfield as well there, Fabian. He's been dangerous down forward as he's gone into the midfield. As Launceston under a little bit of pressure here. Coming back across their half-back flank. Missed that particular ball. Good tackle. Clarence get that kick away. Oh, that's a courageous mark by Ryan Hapka. He had his eyes just transfixed on the ball as he ran at the Launceston player here. What about that, Fabian? He had every right almost to glance up and look at the oncoming player, but he just kept his eye on the ball. And
absolutely.
Brilliant mark.
His turn to go. He had a shot here early in the first quarter, I believe, in a very similar spot. So let's see if he's learned anything from the first effort.
Here comes Hapka. Drives the ball toward the goal.
Similar sort of result.
It was a similar sort of result. Actually, Hapka played so well in the Sartis Grand Final for Guildford Young as well, which was a ripping game. There was, I think, 27 odd academy boys played in that game. It was a wonderful day down at the Twin Ovals, and here are some of those players playing in their grand final for their clubs. As Clarence pick it up, good evasive skills as Alomes just drives that one in. He's got numbers back there that are under plenty of pressure. A quick kick out outside the 50, and I think man-handled, and umpire Guy has rewarded the Launceston player, as we can see here.
Lonnie are out here on the wing. If you can get the ball across quick enough, there's two or three.
There are players out. Hayes.
A little bit late.
Lazy kick on that one. Didn't really follow through. Long raking kick. Clarence have the ascendancy, but a brilliant spoil from a good vertical leap there by the defender for Launceston that sees that one out. So with 14.5 minutes gone in the third quarter, Launceston 24, Clarence 27. It's a very tight affair. Really hard to pick a winner here at this stage. Clarence have had the better of it this quarter, but had the set shots. Both teams have had opportunities that they've missed, as Fisher, who's been very good across half-back, gets it backwards now. A quick kick under a bit of pressure, and strong mark coming out there is Borsboom. He's very slight, but that good vertical leap, and that's a lovely lead and a nice kick by Borsboom.
This young Tyron Bailey again. He's been quite lively up forward, hasn't he?
Very much so. But that kick coming in there, Fabian, was a ripper, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, didn't give defenders enough time to sort of set up behind the ball.
As we said, this young fellow, as a state rep, comes down from New Norfolk, lining the ball up. Big long roost, pushed it out to the side. It was almost right on the limit, but Hapka, he's starting to have a big influence on this game. Can he finish his work this time, Fabian? Well, he's gone the check side, I think. Let's have a look at this. It is a check side.
I think he had a bit more time then. As soon as he took that mark, he was really keen to get on and try and move it on. He could have took a little bit more time, I think.
It was a good mark, and he, as you just alluded to, he rushed it. And as he came in, went right across the face of goal. So Launceston now have time to settle and steady as they mount another assault. Always looking for the loose player. They don't seem to blaze away unless really forced to. So they're setting up nicely now. This big leap was Sheriff and went into the back of Fisher. And the umpire said that it's going to be a free kick to Fisher. He was impeded on trying to take that mark. As you can see, some of the crowd trying to urge the Roos on. Comes back inside. That's a strong mark. Good work by the Roos. Quick kick in. Plenty of defenders down there. At the back was Bailey, who we mentioned before. Strong mark, strong tackle, I apologise. Here is Launceston. That was Jack Lewis, just a quick scrubby kick.
I'll tell you what,
indeed,
Hoppy,
it's out of bounds.
Launceston always seem to have one or two spares outside any congestion or stoppage. They set up very, very well behind.
So where is Clarence spares? They're more in the midfield.
Yeah, they just seem to be sort of trying to defend Lonnie's attack rather than press forward.
Yep. So the ball comes in, and it's a strong mark by Burling. Beautiful mark. Burling comes across the goal. The intent's good, just the execution wasn't the best effort, but they've still got the run of the ball and a good smother. Just brilliant work. It was Miles Salford who came in. Very feisty little fella, as you can see there. What's happened here? Umpire guys decided to give that ball to Salford. The old retaliation, I think there, Fabian's been caught out.
He does like to antagonise a little bit, young Miles. It's paid off for him there.
Very well played. There's the last line of defence. That's Aidan Williams. William goes out wide, but chopping this one off is Wright. Wright just barrels that one back in. You can see 4 or 5 defenders come over the top.
And it's a bit like a ping-pong game for our viewers at home. They probably can't see, but Clarence is setting up behind the footy and Lonnie are doing the same thing. So every time either team wins it, it's just coming straight back in.
Well, you can see just there that there was 3 and 4 Launceston players, but the problem that they have, if they kick the ball directly out down the line, there's 3 or 4 Clarence players there. So that's why we are really insistent on the team that I think to get the win, they need to switch that ball quickly.
Probably possess it a little bit more too.
Absolutely.
And try and draw those opposition players into you.
Very much so. Here's a chance through Jack Lewis, who picks it up, goes into the full forward area. Launceston go the punch. Nice play, well read there by Artiz. And they get the clearing kick, but there is, as we said, Fabian, Clarence behind the ball. So Waller goes inside to the big blue. You can see a lot of Launceston players. Now they take their time. Succession of handballs. Aganis is the last one to kick it. Well played, holding the ball. Takes courage to hold the ball cleverly right towards the boundary line as it hits the interchange area roof. And it's going to be a free kick, and I think it's going to go to, was it a Loams? No. It's, can't Can't quite pick that player just yet. But the time's ticking down.
Might
with
be young Waller.
Waller, I think you're right, with the helmet on. It is indeed. So Waller should be very distinctive because of the helmet. Goes to the centre half forward position. Whistle's gone. What's happened?
Oh, it's downfield. There's Lonnie a little bit undisciplined. There's a few jumper punches behind play, and
Alones.
yeah, he's been dragged. So now Bryce
Alones has taken the kick. Needs to take the mark as the siren will sound. A quick kick towards the full forward area.
Oh no, it's a reload. It's another kick.
Oh, umpire Guy's given the free kick, has he? So it goes back.
Been a little bit behind the ball too. There's been a lot of jumper punches and little snipers.
Oh, you're taken high there, Fabian. So umpire Guy was right on the money. So Clarence, gee whiz, wouldn't they love to get this one, Fabian? I think it's Edward Wright. Right on three-quarter time. It just gives you such a burst, doesn't it, when you come into the huddle?
Yeah, it does, especially in such a close game.
Very much so. It's okay. It is Wright. Comes in. He's got plenty of distance, and it's just on the line. Well, spoilt there by Launceston, so no more score. As we check the Jackson Motor Car Company scoreboard, it is Launceston 3-6-24 to Clarence 3-10-28. Cody Jones, Spencer Hayes and Benjamin Hyatt are our goal kickers for Launceston, and for Clarence, Ruben Compkins, Bryce Alomes and Miles Salford. Fabian Ackroyd, it is going to come right down to the wire.
Yeah, it'll come down to the wire, Hoppy. I'd like to, I mean, I guess if I was in either of these camps, my main message would be that they're certainly attacking the ball well and doing the fundamentals, but what they probably need to do is control that ball a little bit more and be prepared to sort of hit a 15 to 20 metre kick and again control it and try and draw the opposition. And that because they're both playing a very similar brand of footy at the moment, so they need to change something up.
Very much so. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying the coverage here from Duff TV. This is our last break for the day. We'll be back with the action in the last quarter in just a few moments.
Hello, Tasmanians. CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this: you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Hello, Tasmanians. CRIPPS Ambassador here. No matter where you are or whomever you are, remember this: you are Tasmanian. So say it loudly and say it proudly. Tasmania!
Tasmania! Tasmania!
Tasmania!
Tasmania!
CRIPPS, a toast to Tasmania. Nice one. Hello? Is this the mouthpiece?
In In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and strap yourselves in. We are in for a big finish here at North Hobart Oval. Clarence with a 4-point advantage. Respect, but fear no one is the message from Launceston, Fabian.
Yeah, and rightly so. There's not a lot separating these two teams at the moment, not just on the scoreboard, but clearly in general play also.
As it's going to be a very close contest as Agarnist gets the quick kick out. Is there someone out there who's just going to stand up and make a name for themselves here in the grand final for 2020? Tell you what, Fabian, going down to the ground as we have done, there's some big fellas out there, aren't there?
Yeah, there certainly is. I mean, I'm not the biggest cut of a lad going around Hoppy, but there's certainly some big young fellas out there, that's for sure.
What am I? I'm about 181 or something, and I'm just overshadowed by some of these big, strong fellas who are playing the game. They're fit,
that was
and they
nice.
continue to run, and here is Launceston mounting a bit of an assault.
It's really good footy there by Oliver Gibson.
Certainly was. Lucas goes in, comes over the back, goes the check side. Here is Sheriff, who looks dangerous.
I just wonder, Hoppy, as soon as Ollie Gibson kicked that ball forward and was marked by Launceston, his initial message was to slow the ball down.
Yep.
So I wonder was that the message at three-quarter time from their coach?
Yeah, he just sort of said, you know, we've been in these situations, we can cope with it, we play our brand of footy.
Just slow it, control it, like
Correct.
we mentioned in that third quarter.
Very much so. Because that's the thing, isn't it? When you get to the last quarter of a grand final, you can change the way you play. Panic can come in. It's who can settle and play with the system that they've done all year. Both of these teams have got number 1 and number 2, so very much deserve to be here as that ball has gone over the line. So it's just a simple little thing that can mean the difference for a win or a loss here in the grand final. Launceston deciding to play on. Coming right down, that's a brilliant kick to the advantage.
Just their keenness to switch the ball,
Yep.
Hoppy's been a feature today, it really has.
Burling, he is a strong fella towards the true centre-half forward position. Out came the advancing Archie Hurd, and he's going to be a ball up. So with 2.5 minutes gone, just to confirm, it is a 20-minute quarter. Agarnist, who's been very stoic in the ruck. Big, strong young man, very athletic. And again, it was all wrapped up, so there's nothing else but another ball up. Agarnist wins that tap to the advantage. Beautiful play by Launceston. They have the first set. It's Hyatt, goes towards the goal and just puts it over, but there.
It's a boundary throw-in, Hoppy.
It is a boundary throw-in, is it? So the prime movers for Launceston there, Fabian, getting their hands on it, and Hyatt and Sheriff. Very, very dangerous players. And this is the position that Clarence now have to defend very stoutly. Need to be very resolute as the ball coming in. There's plenty of numbers around there. It was Cody Jones who decided to go the ruck. A bit of a free swing there by Reed. But you look at him going back in and burrowing to get it again. But no one is coming out. There's certainly some feeling down there, Fabian. I sensed that when I was on the ground.
Yeah.
That they really do want to walk away with the cup, both of these teams.
I think the added bonus is there is quite a bit of feeling between both of these teams.
So it was Howard who went up in the ruck for Clarence at the bottom there, and Fisher, who's been tremendous for the Roos. But just getting behind the ball Taking a mark is Lucas. Lucas decides to drive the ball deep into the attack and over the back.
It's a great hand.
Gee whiz, that was a brilliant mark taken by Warren, who climbed over the back and taken a spectacular mark as we watch here on the Mood Food replay. He's about 4 deep there, Fabian.
I think he's a little bit lucky. I reckon he's probably had his eyes closed there for a little bit there, Hoppy, and it fell into his hands.
So nice work. Let's see if he can go back and slot this one through for a goal. Cooper Warren. You can see he's only kicked this one from 15 metres out. Staggering start. Comes in. Kicks at the goal. And he's put it through. Well played by Cooper Warren. And Launceston their nose in front, Fabian.
Might take a bit of luck, Hoppy, and that could have been it. But they've certainly had the better start to this final quarter, I think, Lottie. But in grand finals, it does take that little bit of luck. And eyes open or closed, regardless there, he went back and kicked the goal.
Well, as soon as it hit his hands, he certainly clutched onto it. And so Launceston now with a 3-point advantage here in the grand final for 2020. We knew it was going to be close. There was nothing between these two teams all year. And someone will come out on top and be thrilled. And the vanquished, of course, they have to go again next year. So Agana starting to have a bit of momentum for Launceston. McCullum comes out, attacks the ball very, very hard. Overruns it on that particular occasion. They're looking very dangerous now as Anthes goes inside the forward line. Big Burling, who always looks dangerous. Beset upon now. Is that a push? No, the umpire says it's going to be a ball up.
Clarence will really have to watch too through the middle of the ground. Artie's getting his hands on the ball. Tony's giving him first use.
Very much so, I agree on that. Just about to have a shot on goal. Just got his foot to it there, was the attacker.
Almost thought he was going to call holding the footy then.
Yeah. Good work there by Cooper Warren too, applying that pressure after that good mark. That'd certainly get you up and about. There's the throw in. You can see what Launceston have to do to score a goal. Well played by Hurd. Hurd cleverly keeps that one in and goes onto his trusted left boot and gains some valuable meterage and gets it right out of the danger zone with 6.5 minutes gone.
Once again, Hoppy, there, the Clarence guys were drawn into that contest and Launceston folded back quite nicely. 2 or 3 players behind that stoppage.
And it appears that it is, both teams are playing in that similar position, aren't they? Trying to get the numbers behind. And you're really going to have to try and roll the dice, so to speak, and shift the ball away from those people there and take the blinkers off and get it across the other side of the ground. Fighting very hard at the bottom there was Doran. You can see him pushing very hard. It's Reed there for Launceston. And
luckily again for Clarence, Tony the Launceston ruckman was able to get that straight down to Artis again with clean hands.
Yeah, no, the big fella Aganis has been so good in the ruck, hasn't he? He's given the Launceston on ball as plenty of use of the ball. His umpire guy throws it up. You can see again Aganis with a big leap. As I said, he's a big, strong man. Toby Upson, who was very dominant in the first passages of play. It's gone a little bit quiet, but had a nice game. Borsboom onto his left boot, further afield. Running hard out towards the ball. Comes over the back. Clarence now with a bit of run as they get their eyes up. That was fortunate. But now, as per prediction, the numbers behind the ball as Upson on cue takes that strong mark. Aganis gets a quick flick on and he follows his good work up, trying to keep it in. He can't do so, but
good as a possession.
Doing a power of work.
Aganis, he knocked the ball forward and gave him some valuable meters.
He's certainly a force to be reckoned with, isn't he, if he came charging at you. Great sportsman, you can see there as he charged over the top of his Clarence opposition. He still put the hand down with good sportsmanship just to help him up. He's a beauty. So here is Hurd pushing hard through, couldn't pick it up, but it was Matthew Saunders who was strong through the core for Launceston. Coming inside, looking again, dangerous. McCullum goes the spoil, and Harrison Lewis comes out, but it has been knocked out. So it is a real arm wrestle here, Fabian Ackroyd, with 9 minutes gone on a 20-minute quarter.
Yeah, it can go either way still.
I'm just not certain. I can't pick a winner yet. I really can't. Well, I suppose you have to favour Launceston, given they have the lead and it's down their end. But Clarence, to their good credit, they're responding very nicely. But brilliant mark taken by Price. Price now decides to come out wide, looking for Bluey Williams. And Clarence take possession.
Nothing in front of him here.
Nothing at all. Look at all the blue. So deciding to run. Doesn't decide to kick. Comes back inside to Hapka. That was good play. It's this kick here, and that's let them down. That really did let them down. So Launceston are really setting themselves up and being disciplined, Fabian, aren't they?
Yeah, their team structure's very good. They certainly they set up very well.
Look at their discipline here. Not blazing away. They've got numbers back, so they're deciding to share the ball. So they went across a couple of times until they could come out till they had the numbers, and they do have them now. So picking that one up and kicking it forward was Hayes. Smothered here, comes towards Hurd. Hurd, we know, is a creative left foot kick, goes towards Tompkins. He is beset upon there and tackled as the ball spills out as Noah Howard picks it up. He goes to short kick and chopping that one off. Running out hard, well played by Upson. I've liked his game. Now comes back down to Aganis. Aganis just goes long, raking kick inside their 50.
Oh,
they go up high, but taking a strong mark. Well played by the Clarence defenders. Gee whiz, that was dangerous and did such a good job. Comes back in through the middle. There is Salford. Head over the ball. Appeals. You can hear them urging their players on. And it's going to be another ball up.
Just another thing there from young Ed Wright. We've sort of banged on about it all day, but he's willing to just go straight up the ground. There's still 10 or 11 minutes left in the quarter. They just need to control it. And
very much so. I agree with you. It coming out was Max Lamb, Borsberm. Well played here by Launceston. And it comes down to Williams. Williams just taking his time and finds Saunders. Saunders coming down the line. Oh, there's Raffle this one. And Clarence through the agency of Brycey Alomes. Alomes goes short. That's it, just taking their time out towards Salford. Nothing else on front just yet. A couple of quick changes. Pleading for the ball in front of us. Wobbly old kick, and it favours Borsberm, who's playing in front. Borsberm goes into the true centre half forward position. The lead is on, and almost at full stretch was Venable. It was a good kick out to space. Running hard now is Launceston. Sammy Sheriff comes over the top. Well played here by Clarence. A bit of a shimmy. It's Blasky goes in. Clarence an opportunity as it drops down to the front of the pack as it goes towards the goal and just goes on the inside. But they sneak that little bit closer, Fabian, to within 2 points.
Certainly a game of inches at the moment, Hoppy.
Very much so. Just to make it clear for all our viewers out there, if it does happen to be a draw, the players will come in, have a little bit of a chat to the coaches, and then they go out for 5 minutes each way.
He's been a star today. Alomes has been a star.
Alomes has been very, very good to Fisher. Another good mover for Clarence. Fisher taking the time. Didn't quite get the ball and almost through to his advantage, but Launceston chip in now. They go the long, long kick further into their forward line. It was Warren and Sheriff. Go the inside out. I think it might be Sheriff as it's racing towards the goals. And just for a minute, I thought that was going to go through Fabian Ackroyd.
He just got a poor bounce, wasn't it?
So we can see here going that way, and then just she turned from right to left. So Clarence are under the pump here as Borsberm picks that one.
Oh, he's gone.
He's been tackled. And we can see here.
I think it's Sam Artis again.
It is. He's been very, very good.
Yeah, he's good around the stoppage. I just don't understand again why their willingness to try and... There's not 30 seconds left on the clock. You know, they've got a lot of time left. They're just so eager to bring the ball straight back up the middle of the ground.
If you needed to look something up on Google about holding the ball, that's what would come up.
Absolutely.
That one right there. Prior opportunity, and then being pinned, brought to the ground, dropping the ball out. And now Sammy Artez has a shot on goal. Drives it, and he's just pushed that one to the side.
So let's hope Clarence actually changed the way they're bringing the ball out of the defensive zone now.
put your coach's hat on, Fabian, that turns the hair grey, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing more. You can coach everything, but you can't go out and kick it for the kids.
Absolutely. They've got to think through it a little bit now.
So Maxi Lamb takes that kick, comes out towards the commentary tower. Play on, it says. Tommy McCullum fighting really hard, and you can hear from the enthusiasm as umpire guy is going to throw this one up. He's trying to say to settle down.
He still created the loose here nicely, Launceston.
Yep. Aganis gets the tap out. So it's 4 points the difference as the boundary throw in with 5 minutes left in the 2020 Cripps the Master Baker season for the STJFL in the under-18 competition.
If Clarence can sneak a goal here, they'll be hard to beat. They even though there's 5 minutes left.
Okay, so it comes over the back to Jonty Doran. Goes inside the 50. 2 on 2. Maxi Lamb comes in. You know he's going to be dangerous.
Here it is.
He goes onto that left boot. Maxi Lamb
called it.
Slams the ball on and he kicks the goal. There was no way Maxi Lamb was going to handball that one off, Fabian.
I wish I could pick that slot. I tickets like that, Hobby.
He held the ball, dodged one, evaded, and then finally got it onto his left boot. Let's have a look at this on the Mood Food replay. He had to go on his left boot. He had no option. We knew that. And the Launceston boys couldn't quite cover it. And Clarence now are 4-11-35 to Launceston 4-9-33. Have you got extra players back in defence now, Fabian?
No, I think they don't change. There's still 4 minutes left, although they're going to be hard to head from here, I'd suggest.
Okay, we know Aganis will try and give them first use of the ball. McCullum goes into the ruck. Well played by him. It is Joshua Burling driving that ball forward. They've got numbers if they can just pick that up. They can't. Oh, they do so now. They get the handball to the big fella, Aganis. He's been tackled too high.
He's called it high.
For a minute there, I thought 2 hands were going to come out for holding the onion.
Absolutely.
Aganis.
Oh, no, it was high. It was a high tackle.
Certainly was. Aganis goes the low kick. The man in front.
Oh,
that's
high.
A high tackle too. He's caught one high. Goodness gracious me. And Spencer Hayes is going back, and he's got the grand final in his hands.
He has. I don't think there'll be too many more opportunities.
Well, so this young man from Launceston, I can hear the collective holding of the breath up the Midland Highway here, Fabian.
Both kicks were there too, both high tackles.
They certainly were. As he is coming in now, Spencer Hayes kicks towards the goal.
He's kicked it.
He has put it through for a major here in the 2020 STJFL Cripps the Master Baker Grand Final. It is all action stations. What was a pretty steady game has certainly come to life here with 3 minutes to go.
I might be keen to roll one back now.
Well, now's the time to roll one back.
I'd probably put one back, I'd suggest.
All right now. Well, needless to say, they need to get the big guns firing. Aganis has been good in the ruck. You'd have the big man in there trying to get it.
How important is this centre clearance, Hop?
Oh, absolutely. It is huge.
Interesting they haven't got Artis in there. I thought he might be in there at this stoppage.
Oh, good play by McCullum. Terrific work by him. At the bottom was Fisher without it. Oh, they're going to get a chance here. It was Lewis.
Oh,
he's been held on.
He's gone. He took
Brilliant tackle. These are the things that can win big games, and Bailey Simmons held on like a barnacle to a rock. Brilliant work by that young man. And leading out now, just going to try and steady the ship, is Matthew Saunders.
He just needs to slow down here a little bit.
Coming inside 50. It's down in the area where they need it. As if you're a Launceston supporter, it was Burling who went very, very high. And it's another stoppage. So we're into the last couple of minutes. And Clarence need a clean possession here, Fabian. They go up. McCullum up against Aganis. Running hard is Sheriff. He takes possession. He knew that he was going to be tackled hard, but he doesn't mind to take his time, because time is in fact the enemy of Clarence at this stage. Minute and a half left. It certainly has to go right. There is 1 or 2, 3 spare in fact for Launceston behind the ball. So if it does come out, it could be coming back with interest.
That's
Good
right,
tackle, well played by Jack Lewis. Now they've got to run very, very hard.
There's a minute left.
A minute left in this grand final. Lewis kicks it down to the wing position. Up they go. It is Clarence. They've got numbers. McCallum, he gets the quick kick. Handball comes out now to Noble. Goes in with it, leading with his head. Agarnis is there. He just bludgeons it forward.
Another opportunity.
Gains a couple of valuable metres, but it's Clarence. There's no time for breath. Goes towards McCallum. McCallum, he got the dukes on it. Didn't quite hold on. Matthew Saunders, and it's holding the ball. No, it's a free kick.
Gee, that could be it.
Free kick to Launceston. Just going to take time here, Fabian.
Gee, I thought Tommy McCallum was unlucky there.
Told to play on.
Oh, he's reversed it.
Oh, it's reversed.
Oh, he's reversed it.
Here goes Clarence. They've got 19 seconds. A kick goes inside the 50.
Oh.
The ball spills. It comes over to Hapka. Hapka.
Oh,
he's been holding the ball.
I reckon that's the grand final.
Oh, holding the ball. That is the grand final with 4 seconds left. For a minute there, I thought it was going to go to
Launceston
Clarence.
There's a siren.
And the siren has sounded in what is a dramatic finish. And the Clarence players, bereft of air, have fallen to the ground. And the ecstasy of Launceston jumping with joy. As you can see there, they have won this thriller here at North Hobart Oval. Fabian Ackroyd.
Yeah, what a thrilling finish, and probably rightly so for the game that we had. I just think the time Clarence did need to go up the middle of the ground with some urgency. They probably didn't do it.
Wow.
But what a game of footy. And deserving winners were Launceston. That's 4 hop for their footy club now?
Yeah, they've won everything that has been on offer. Well, as we catch our breath, let's just confirm it is Launceston 5-9-39 to Clarence 4-11-35 for Launceston. Oh, you can hear the sounds of the club song. Cody Jones, Cooper Warren, Spencer Hayes and Benjamin Hyatt with goals.
Whether the odds be great or small, Blues will go in and win overall. While her loyal sons are marching onwards to victory.
Well, they'll be singing that loud and proud. There's no doubt about that up there in Launceston. So to all our very dear friends watching in the north of the state, you'd be very proud of these young men who have ventured south in enemy territory and come away with a hard-fought victory. But gee whiz, Fabian, didn't that game come to light in that last quarter?
Oh, what a cracker. I mean, it was a really good game of footy all day. I was just really, really impressed with Launceston's ability to hold their structure. Even when it could have gone either way, they held their structure. They kept their team structure. And I actually personally think that was the difference in the day, was the team structure and the way that they rolled it through for 4 quarters.
Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it? Even when they were under pressure, they just took their time and spread the ball really well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And they were really sure of foot as well. They used the expanses of North Hobart Oval. You know, quite often people think it's quite a small ground, but there's still plenty of space if you're prepared to run. Yes,
so as we're seeing, all the players very, very excited, and all the spectators here, they'd be thrilled, wouldn't they, to see their Chargers come down here to North Hobart. The smiles on the mums and dad, as you are in fact a dad of 2 young footballers, Fabian. It's wonderful to see them. You go every blow with them week in, week out, don't you?
Absolutely you do. And, you know, it's great to see so many of the parents come down on, you know, and follow the team bus back. And their team bus ride back will be probably as good as it ever gets, I'd suggest.
Oh, very much so. There's no doubt about that. It'll be the most enjoyable 2.5 hours as they would like. So it was a fantastic win here for Launceston. They just played their system all the way through and come away with this hard-fought victory. As we can see, the coach there, Peter Kirkowitz, he'd be absolutely thrilled with that last performance, last quarter performance. He was pleading with his players about respect but don't fear anyone, and that's exactly what they did there today, didn't they, Fabian?
Yeah, they did. I think his message was really clear from the get-go.
Fabian, we'll now cross down to our MC, Tony Gibson, for the presentation of the Cup.
Congratulations to the Launceston boys and the Launceston Football Club on what's obviously been an outstanding weekend for that football club, so well done to the Lonnie boys. I'd now like to invite Mark Holmes from the TFUA to call out the umpires to receive their medallions on their appointment to their grand final today. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Commiserations, Clarence. A really hard-fought game, and you fought hard all year. Well done to Launceston, a fantastic brand of football, and well done on your win. Well done to our umpires and our northern umpires as well that were out there today. In the field today, we had Philip Linnell, Duncan Hill, Rodney Guy, our emergency field umpire was Bailey Aziz. In the boundary, Caden Chung and Riley Lee Heath. And in the goals, Max Genders and Craig Newman. And our emergency goal umpire, Oscar Blackburn. Thanks very much, guys.
Once again, congratulations to the umpires on being appointed to their grand final today. Well done to the umpires. I'd now like to invite Josh Green to come forward from the Clarence team as their coach to say a few words on behalf of his team.
Well done to Launceston. Obviously a great weekend for your club. You set the benchmark now, so congratulations to you guys. To our boys, very proud of you still. Tried hard all day, but we just didn't get the chocolates. And thanks for everyone for coming out as well. And thanks to STJFL, so well done, boys.
Thanks, Josh. We'd now like to make a presentation for the boys runner-up for the Beakley Medal for the under-18s, which goes to Tony Degonanis from the Launceston. Our best on-ground medal today goes to Launceston player number 60, Sam Curtis. Good try. We'd now like to ask the Launceston coach, Peter, to come forward. While Peter's making his way forward, Peter was awarded the boys coach on behalf of the STJFL for the whole of the STJFL competition this year. So I'd like to ask our President, Jim Horn, to make that presentation. We now invite Peter to say a few words on behalf of his team.
First off, the parents, mate, boys be disappointed, but he's played a hell of a game today. It was probably a great spectacle football to watch today. To our boys, what can I say, boys? We've talked about it all year. It's about belief and being positive, and what happens, we come away with a win. It's a great, probably a great weekend for the Launceston club. 4 wins in a row, so we've created a bit of history. but we create issues for ourselves, boys, okay? Congratulations, boys, well done. And also, to our supporters, thank you very much. To everyone back, over the back of the club watching this, well done to you too as well, and to my wife Anna, thank you. Number 43, Sam Sheriff. Number 44, Cody Jones. (47) Maddie Saunders. (49) Cooper Warren. Number 50, Alex Blackaby. Happy birthday, Alex Blackaby. 18 today. Happy birthday. (51) Aidan Williams. (56) Ollie Gibson. (57) Oliver Reed. (59) the big cat, Tony Aganis. Number 60, Sam Artis.
Give us away! Give us away, Sam Artis! Come on, give us away!
61, Harry Lewis. (63) Spencer Hayes. 64, Jack Lewis. 66, Joshua Gillow. 68, great game today too, mate, Liam Jones. (71) the big puff daddy, Kai Lunson. (73) Bailey Simmons. (74) Jesse Price. 75, Cooper Anthus. 76, Ben Hyatt. 'Toby Upson. Number 84, Connell McCormack. Number 91, Josiah Burley. Number 67, the captain of the side, pop up, Sam Lucas.
And the coach, Peter. On behalf of the CRIPPS STJFL, we'd certainly like to thank all the patrons for coming along and supporting this grand final today, especially the people that have made the trek down from Launceston, so well done to the Launceston supporters. To Duff TV for providing coverage of all our grand finals throughout the final series and obviously having the benefit of being able to telecast that back into the north of the state today. Thanks to Duff TV and also thanks to the Mercury for providing that link as well. So our under-18 season has come to a conclusion, but I'd like to pay testament to both clubs, both Launceston and Clarence, who have been the trendsetters of this competition for the last 3 years. So congratulations to both clubs on raising the bar and setting the bar for the other teams to follow throughout that journey. Our CRIPPS STJFL 2020 Under-18 Premiers, Launceston, well done.
So finally there is the cup being lifted aloft for the Launceston Football Club, and I know there's one thing that'll be happening up in Launceston, an extension on their trophy room, because they've got 4 new premiership cups to put in there. And congratulations to them. So as we see the Launceston boys absolutely cock-a-hoot with their victory, they'll certainly enjoy their travels north. So travel safely to our very dear friends from the Launceston Football Club. Commiserations to the boys from Clarence. They were absolutely stoic in what was a very, very entertaining match. As I think Tony Gibson's just got the microphone up, just asking for a bit of a song. We'll see how that goes before we officially sign off. So we might cross down to the Launceston Quartet for their rendition of the football club song. They'd know it off by heart now. So here we go. Winners are grinners and losers can help themselves, as they say. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood signing off for Duff TV here at North Hobart Oval. We're going to be back with you on Thursday for the last 2 grand finals in the STJFL competition. It is the under-15 girls followed by the under-14 boys. So thank you very much for joining us, and stay safe.